Honorable judges, members of the House, um, gun violence is a problem that has been gaining relevancy in the past years. Things such as school shootings, homicides, mass shootings, murders and robberies are problems that are fully reliant upon policies regarding gun regulations and control. The question stands whether gender roles play a significant factor in determining which policies we should take, whether to make it gender specific or make it more general and treat both genders as equals. We on the opposition bench fully disagrees and fully rejects the motion that regarding civilians, this House would only allow women to own guns, because we believe that gun ownership is the right of every citizen regardless of their gender. The proposition has put forward three main arguments against in support of the motion. One, they argued why women still need guns. Two, they argued that limiting access to guns somehow restores the humanity in men. Three, they argued that equality somehow does not matter when it comes to firearms and gun ownership. We would like to provide a rebuttal for their first argument. We believe that in the current day and age, both men and women still it is very important still for both men and women to own guns. Why? Well, the proposition has put forward an argument that was very heavily reliant on societal stereotypes that women are somehow built to be more subordinate and weaker and softer and more caring and such, while men are more masculine and more oppressive, and they must somehow reflect their masculinity upon those around them, including the women around them. Well, we believe this stereotype to be completely unbased on modern real-world dynamics of how society actually runs and how gender roles plays a role in said society. We believe that women are fully capable of performing everything that men does, even in things that we maybe previously thought that wasn't possible, such as self-defense. Women has consistently proved themselves very capable in things such as martial arts. They participate competitively in proper martial arts, which thus proves their capability in performing things such as self-defense, even against stronger men. We also would like to argue that the contrary, that men are all pushy and masculine and empowering. We believe that some men are an equal portion of strong women to strong men exist, and there are equal amounts of men that also is incapable of in fact defending themselves and thus needs firearms to actually defend themselves. We believe that weak men exist, strong men exist, strong women exist, and also weak women. We believe that strength and weaknesses does not directly correlate to specific genders in our society. We believe that banning men, in fact, would not solve the core problem that is there in the status quo. The policy to simply exclude men from gun ownership and gun training, and even to enter shooting ranges, would not only be ineffective, it would fail to make any difference whatsoever in the amount of gun violence present in our society. We believe that violent people in nature would be violent even when they do not have access to guns, and we believe that using women as proxies, violent men using their women as proxies to incite gun violence would still be a problem in the proposed when applying the proposed solution proposed by the proposition. We would then like to move on to their second argument that taking away the guns from men would simply restore the humanity in them. Well, we would first like to point out that the problem is not in fact the humanity that is lost from men. why gun violence happen is not because of a lack of humanity, but a lack of proper education and awareness against the responsibilities and troubles that come with gun ownership and gun purchases. We simply believe that men is not inhumane when they hold guns. They simply lack awareness, and therefore we propose a counter policy that to not ban men from owning guns essentially, but to actually allow men to own guns, but provide extensive regulations against the qualifications of who and what type of people could actually hold guns, and proper education so they could understand how to actually use guns and use them in the correct scenarios, and not simply to incite random violence against other civilians. Their third argument of why equality does not matter regarding gender roles. They specifically said that men and women are not created as equal anyways. Well, we believe this view to be completely false. This is again based on various cultural stereotypes which hold no ground in modern society. They state that women are weak, and that is simply false. They, as previously mentioned, they are extremely competent in fields that need significant amounts of strength, such as being policewomen working in the armies, and as previously mentioned, martial arts. They are extremely competent in martial arts, thus proving that they are in fact capable of performing every single task that is usually expected of men in historically and stereotypically. Therefore, we believe that their third arguments hold no value. We could then conclude that the arguments from the proposition was not strong enough to support the claim that banning men from gun ownership would somehow decrease gun violence, because we believe that would simply be ineffective. Instead, we propose a counter policy of increasing the budgeting and increasing the intensity of gun education and regulation. We believe that it is not a lack of humanity that causes gun violence, but a lack of awareness, a lack of responsibility, a sense of responsibility of gun ownership. That is what is lacking in the men of today, and also the women, because women also incite violence. They're not as prominent as men because they don't have the cultural and stereotypical pressures to allow them to do so. We propose a counter policy that we would believe to be much more effective than the policy offered by the proposition, because actually solving the root issue of gun violence is actually solving the awareness associated to give the people a sense of responsibility when owning a gun. We believe that is the most crucial aspect of this motion, which the opposition did not address. Thank you.